going today, Britt?
We are going to Seattle, downtown, starting at Cal Anderson Park, maybe, and exploring.
Alright. So yeah, it's a rainy day. Figured what better to do in a rainy day than go outside in Seattle. Gonna go explore, get some shots of thick ruby, put some filters to use, do some photography. Jeez. Stay tuned. So Seattle, a lot of hipsters, right, Britt?
Uh-huh.
One good thing about hipsters, they got a lot of free time on their hands. So they paint a lot of cool murals and stuff.
In half a mile, turn right onto East Omaha Street.
For we to take pictures in front of with our off-road vehicles in the middle of the city. Oh, there's some hipsters right now. Change of plans. We aren't going to shoot anything anymore because the police have most of downtown Seattle blocked off, Pioneer Square. A lot of protests going on. Drove by the Ferrari Maserati store and all the windows were broken. Not getting political. Trying to get political, Britt?
No, I do not.
Alright. Well, that didn't work out as planned. The whole point of going to Seattle was to get some cool pictures around some cool murals and talk about color grading. How much is too much? If you're on Instagram at all, you're just blasted with all these different types of ads that say, get this for color grading, get these presets, look like your influencer. Don't do it. Don't do it. And for two reasons. One, their grades look like crap. They look really, really bad. And two, it's so easy. Do it yourself. Let's go. Because the coolest part about this picture in this spot is the mural. I mean, yeah, the Jeep is sexy, but the mural is why I came here. I wanted to get that in there. So it didn't make a whole lot of sense to have a really compressed image with a very blurred background. I wanted to shoot, I think, where were we on this? Okay, yeah, I shot this at an f8 outside with the Jeep all the way parked against the wall. So that's why everything looks pretty in focus. But yeah, let's get started on some, lighting changes. Make the Jeep more of the focal point of the image and go from there on the color grading. All right, so first things first, I want this photo to be just a little bit warmer. It's a rainy day, yes. We're in Seattle, it is chilly right now, even though it's June, but it's a little bit too cool. Also, that's a good segue to create custom white balance settings in your camera so that you're not using auto all the time, so you're not using just warm or cool. You have something set up for specific circumstances, like today. Rainy day, I have a specific set, a custom key for white balance on rainy days. Just makes life a little bit easier when you're getting to the editing stage of a photo. You don't lose any character of the blues in the background. It makes that gray look a little bit more of a pop in the image. Yeah, that's good. Now here is where the color grading comes in. This is what, this is what I'm talking about. These are the things that influencers, whether they be photographers or just lifestyle blog people, they're always trying to sell you on their presets. And again, I can't stress this enough. You don't need to buy them from them if you really love the aesthetic of their photos, or if you really just want to support them and see, more of their content. Well, that's a great way to do it. But don't buy presets thinking that it's immediately going to make your image look as awesome as that influencer, and then you're going to become an influencer. It's not how it works. So it's one little magic area, and it does all the work for you. You ready? This little guy, this color mixer. It is color grading quick and dirty in Lightroom. This is how the majority of those influencers create that aesthetic. The one you always see that's everything is this shade of teal and kind of a patina. Well, that's this right here. You take the blue, boom, slam it down. See what happened to the blues on the wall? Change to that tealish color. And that's how color grading works. So let's go ahead, do some grading on this photo, see what we like. See what comes out of it. See how we can mess with those colors in the background. That's too much teal though. I don't like that. Good. Okay. Another way of grading a specific area, if you have one of the points on the image that you want to change, but you can't seem to find how you're doing it through the sliders, this little guy right here, this little like crosshair looking thing, it brings up this key at the bottom. Luminance, saturation, hue. Right now we're kind of dealing with hue. So say I want to bring some stuff out in the Jeep. Click on it, look at that. Takes you right to that purple. And it's going to be pretty subtle depending on what the color is. You can kind of see in some of the highlights it's doing things, but very subtle, simple, clean. The next place you want to go to make a big color grading impact, split toning. Split toning works solely with shadows and highlights. You pick a color, and then you move a slider where you want the balance to be. So say you want it to be super blue in all the highlights. Well, I'm just gonna go right there, move the slider to the blue highlights. That looks bad, and you want it to be subtle. Unless you're doing something super abstract, don't overdo those. It takes the viewer out of it. It looks fake. We already said that we wanted this photo to be warmer, so we should probably do that. Start working with the oranges and the golds and see where we can get from there. That makes a huge difference. It's got that kind of almost vintage look to it, but it's not too much. Let's see what we can do with a little bit of the highlight shading. And I want more of the emphasis put on the highlights. So I kind of want to balance that out with a little bit of a cool. And I'm happy with that. That looks good. All right. Now the third and final place that you can work on color grading to create that image, curves. Saw a little bit when I was doing the quick light editing that I went into curves. Well, I went into curves with white balance in consideration. You can go into a curve for each one of the colors, so RGB. Now say in this photo we want to lift the red shadows a little bit. Well, grab here, lift up. You see what it did to the entirety of that photo? But that's too much. We like that tone, we like that color, but it's just too much of the photo. Let's drop it down through here. Now it's bending a little bit too much in the other direction. So you have to play with it a little bit. Did a couple of other things, not work that I would actually put anywhere or be that proud, because to be honest, I just don't like it that much. But this was just kind of a means of showing you how you do those things. And it's really just to show you how easy color grading is and why it might not behoove you to buy a $30 preset pack from a photographer or an influencer. We'll talk a little bit more about how you use presets in your photos and kind of the misconceptions of them and the shortfalls of them in another video. But for right now, this is just to show you how easy it is and get a quality color grade that suits your style, not somebody else's. So I hope that was helpful. I think this is where I'm gonna go with my channel. I love my truck, I love our Jeep, we love traveling, we love going around. But what I really love is photography. You know, I've had a really kind of weird professional career path and started out wanting to be an engineer, ended up being a financial analyst for 8+ years of my career, always developed and devoted to photography though, videography, things of that nature, always been super left-brained. So now this is my chance, my opportunity to pursue this. I still love my truck, I still love all those things, and those will probably be a lot of the subject matter of what I do going forward. A lot of people, even in the short amount of time that I've been doing any type of social posting or things like that, send me messages and ask me things about how I get a photo to look a certain way, or what I do to make a shot as cool as it is. And I figured, why not create a channel, start talking about those things. People ask, and I like teaching, I like telling people. So that's what this is gonna be. But it's gonna be really simple. It's gonna be geared to the average person, because I've been doing this for years and years and years, predominantly as a hobby, despite the fact that people told me that I should pursue it as a career, but it had been a hobby nonetheless, and I was completely self-taught, and I'm still learning, and you should be too. What's the point of doing anything if you don't keep learning? So if you follow me on social media and you came here to support me, thank you. It does mean a lot. I do really appreciate it a lot. I am always humbled when people, comment and say that I should do this for a living, or when people tag, professional accounts and say, hey, this guy should be doing such and such for you. I am always flattered, gobsmacked, and at the same time, like, get out of here. Me? No, that's ridiculous. It does mean a lot for people to follow me here, to support me, and I hope I do and create things that you enjoy. You're not just doing it just because you feel like you want to be a nice person. And if you've just stumbled on this video, hopefully it's something simple or good enough, or it's terrible but you at least like me maybe, that you'll subscribe, leave a comment below if you have an idea of something that you want done. If you've had a question about something, whether it be in, kind of photography, in photography software, editing, whatever, it doesn't matter. I want this to be as average person oriented as possible. I want to be on here to create a community, kind of like what I've done on social media with other people. It's collaborate, learn together, build, and just have a good time. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, blah, blah, blah. Until next time, deuces.